When you apply for a marriage-based green card, there are certain red flags that USCIS looks for. Some are obvious, others might surprise you. Having a red flag doesn't automatically mean your case will be denied, but it does mean that USCIS will look more closely. You'll have to work harder to prove your eligibility and that your marriage is genuine. Hello, everyone. I'm Erick Widman, an attorney at Passage Immigration Law. We have offices in Oregon, Washington, and California. You can visit our website at passage.law to set up a consultation or subscribe to our free newsletter for regular updates, tips, and the latest immigration insights. In this video, I'm going to walk you through 13 red flags that USCIS watches for, from the most obvious to the unexpected. Stick around to the end because I'll share my best tips on how to overcome these red flags based upon my 15 years so far as an immigration attorney. Let's start with the most obvious: criminal history. If either spouse has a criminal record, USCIS will flag that. Not all offenses carry the same weight. Serious crimes like drug trafficking, sex trafficking, child abuse, burglary, or violent crimes can completely block your path to immigration benefits. Minor offenses, traffic tickets, disorderly conduct, or small amounts of marijuana possession may not cause as much trouble. But if you've ever had any run-ins with law enforcement, even without an arrest, it's best to get an attorney to review your case carefully. Another big red flag is multiple marriage-based green card filings. If either spouse has filed multiple marriage-based green card applications before, USCIS is likely to be suspicious. Say you're a U.S. citizen with several past marriages and green card filings. USCIS will definitely dig deeper to make sure this marriage is real. Similarly, if you're the foreign spouse with a history of multiple marriages and green card attempts, USCIS might think you're trying to game the system. Either way, your past marriage and immigration history will make it harder to get your case approved. The next red flag is language and cultural barriers. If you and your spouse don't speak the same language, it's tough to build a strong, intimate relationship if you can't communicate. This is a red flag. In reality, some couples are able to develop their own way of communicating despite language barriers, but expect USCIS to question it. The same goes for big cultural or religious differences. USCIS officers can be conservative and sometimes suspicious when spouses come from very different backgrounds. So be prepared to explain your relationship clearly. Another obvious red flag is significant age gaps, especially when the wife is much older than the husband in a traditional marriage. Yes, there is a double standard. USCIS even states that an age difference of 10 years or more could be viewed with suspicion as a potential indicator of fraud. But I've seen cases with big age gaps get approved. The key is to be ready to explain your relationship honestly and provide strong, credible evidence of your bona fide marriage. In fact, providing solid proof is essential for any type of marriage-based green card. Some couples think, why bother? Our marriage is real, but USCIS doesn't know you and needs to see proof. If you don't submit enough evidence up front, your case can look suspicious. Another common red flag is when all your evidence is brand new and created right before filing. Fraudulent couples often scramble to create photos, affidavits, and other documents in the months before filing. USCIS can spot that. Genuine couples have a variety of evidence types from different times and sources. Another thing USCIS watches for is whether you've kept your relationship hidden. If you've never introduced your spouse to friends or family, have no photos together, and don't show any connection on social media, it's going to raise some eyebrows. Real couples do make their relationship part of their everyday life. Even if your parents don't approve, you should still introduce your spouse to others close to you, people who can vouch for your relationship. And finally, timing matters. Getting married and immediately filing for a green card is another red flag. USCIS might think you married just for immigration benefits, especially if you filed right after a visa expired or right after arriving in the U.S. or while in removal proceedings. When the timing seems too convenient, it often leads to extra scrutiny.